All right, fellas, I'm going to try this again. I've already failed once on Artemis Picks Challenge Lock. It is a Schlage, very nice, pretty open keyway. One thing I didn't notice, and of course you'll figure this out very quickly, everything is threaded, at least the Bible. I don't know about the core. I do have a mummied key, and it is, there you go, pinned by Artemis Picks. All right, let's give it a try. I've learned some important things about this lock. It is very touchy. It will seize up on you in a heartbeat if you apply any kind of tension. And you've heard me say this before. If what you're trying doesn't work, try something different. And I'm going to do that this time. I've pulled out my rake. I tried to pick it once going clockwise. I'm going to now try to pick it counterclockwise, use top of the keyway. Let me show you what I'm talking about in terms of tensioning. This lock is super sensitive. I think the springs in there must be half springs, but if you apply any tension, immediately those pins seize. So I'm going to call it air tension is what I'm going to try to keep on this thing. I'm going to try to SPP it first because I did it before and I managed to pick a couple and then you just kind of lose track. So here we go. Air tension, very light. This is a 15 thousandths DeForest half ball, so I can work from the bottom of the keyway. And I got nothing. Okay, I got a slight click from pin 1. I didn't even know he was binding, quite honestly. I was just kind of testing him. And okay, that was pin 2. Got a click off of him. And something back there is stuck on the bottom. I think it's pin 5 or 6. I can't really tell. Okay, that was 3. Got a good turn on the core. That's new. Okay, that was 2 again. Okay, a counter rotation on 3 again. He must have fallen. And he stopped. I lost it. There we go. He got it back. All right. Everybody else feels pretty springy. Very light tension on this lock. I mean, very light spring. So what I'm going to try to do, this is different from the last time. Again, I'm going to twist and reset my tension wrenches coming out just a little bit because it's so light. I'm going to take a rake and I'm just going to try to rake. Like I'm pretty sure 1, 2, and 3 are picked. I'm just going to try to rake the guys in the back to see if we can get a deeper fault set, perhaps, or at least rake one of those guys. Give me a break. This air tension makes it kind of hard to feel if there's any counter rotation, and I don't know if we set anything or not. Get this guy back there. Kind of bouncing on the picks and I got nothing. They're all still springy. Okay, that was 5. I started to counter rotate. I think I got them all the way up and we lost some fault set there somehow. Okay, there it is. We got it back. I touched pin 2. There's pin, I think that's 1. We're getting a little bit of counter rotation. Can't get that high. I'm up there behind that tension wrench. Let me get a different pick. Get something a little deeper. We'll try this guy. This is the SS Dev medium hook. No, I think he's okay. He's too deep of a hook to go any further in than that, I think. But in terms of 1, I think we're good. Come on. I heard something drop. Okay, that was 4. Just got to click off of him. 3. Got to click off of him. So he had fallen. But I thought we had him picked. Okay, that was 6. I got to click off of him, but no turn on the core. And it feels like these springs are very tiny in here. The pressure on the pick is so minuscule that I can hardly even feel the pins. We got a good false set going, but I get no counter rotation or indication. Let's see, we got two. Two's binding. Counter rotation. Get that deep hook in there again. Try. I think that's all. All right, back in with the rake. I'm going to go after those three in the back that are not giving me any feedback. And no love here. All right, I got no choice. I'm going to apply a little more tension, force something to bind. And I got nothing. Checking one. He's right there behind that tension wrench, so you guys know that's my weak pin, so some of you guys are using that psychological warfare against me. I got nothing there. Five, binder, one click. No turn on the core. Four is back down. Got a click off of him. Got another click off of him and a slight turn. Three's back down. Okay, that was five. Okay, that's four. Binder, but no, nothing. That was two, had fallen back down. First time it required a lot of pick tension, and this time it required almost nothing. Okay, that was, I got a good turn of the core there. That was four. Counter rotation on three. Okay, two again. I don't know what to tell you here, guys. That's one. Trying to get back out of there. All right, back to the rake. I'm going to lighten up. I might have overset somebody. The signals out of this lock are just pretty confusing. Heavy, light, heavy, light. Okay, counter rotation on two. And he started with it, he didn't actually set like a spool, so I don't know what happened there. Checking one, we're good. Okay, I got a good turn when I touched six that time. Three. That was two. Okay, that was three again. Wow, that was like four clicks on one. See if I can get him a little back behind there. Nothing. Three's back down. Two's back down. I had counter rotation. It felt like he set that time. These serrated pins must have incredible, like razor sharp edges to be biting in like this. One is counter rotation. No. All right, back to the rake. Got a good fault set, but I just don't know which one of those damn things is talking to me. None of them are talking to me. That's the problem. There we go. Counter rotation on 2. I'm going to give him an extra click this time. Nope, he's really bound up. Back to the rake. All right, we got a little deeper fault set there. I raked one of those 3 loose ones in the back, but now we're bound up. I'm going to take 6, just randomly grab him and force him, and I got nothing. 3, counter rotation. I don't know what's holding this thing in that deep fault set. No clue. It's got to be a T-pin. I'd be darned if I can find him. There he is. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man. Super deep fault set, and I have no clue. It must have been a T-pin. There's got to be another one now. Lighten up on the tension. Try 1, get back behind that tension wrench. Nope. Good. Oh, there it was. It was 1. Good God. Artemis, you asked me to send you recommendation for improvements. I'm going to have to say, don't change a thing, man. All right, that was, I exceeded by 2 minutes my maximum limit, but I'm glad we got him open. Don't have to do this again. Thank God. This is, Artemis only sent 1 challenge lock, and that is enough. Let's see what we got in here. These got to have razor sharp. Let's get that over here. Got to have razor sharp, very light pins, springs rather. Probably half springs is my guess. We got no spring in there. It doesn't matter. That doesn't affect the picking. And probably razor sharp serrated pins, and then a couple, at least a couple of T-pins, at least 2, perhaps 3. All right, so here we go. Okay, we know that's completely threaded. Let me back out a little bit. And it looks like almost all of these, well, let's pull it out and take a look, because a couple of them I can't quite see because the pins are sticking out. All right, standard. I would have not expected that. A steel standard in position 3. Steel 4. Standard 5. All these are standards, my God. I would not have dreamed. Okay, so this looks like 1, 4. Get a light in there. Okay, so definitely 6, 4, and 1 are threaded here. And that's all. I don't see any undercutting or countermilling in there. It's nasty enough the way it is, though, trust me. All right, let's see what we got in here. All right, we got pin and pins, guys. I should have known, man. It's acting so weird. That's what I thought was a T-pin. It is a pin and pin, and it's in like that. So let's go ahead and separate that guy. And he looks to be a little bit serrated. I'll take a closer look in a minute. Looks like a screw. All right, second one. He's just barely above the shear line. Oh! And I can't quite make him out through that. Looks like a homemade spool. And the spring just jumped right out of there. Pin number 2. All right, number 3. Very nasty looking spool / serrated looking thing. That would definitely grab on those threaded chambers. Number 4. Another homemade. spool slash serrated. It's kind of like a mushroom, angled, but comes to a very sharp head, which would, again, would grab in the serrations. Another spool, very sharp. And it should be the last one. A homemade double spool, sharp edges. All right, let's take, okay, all of the springs, except that one that jumped out, look to be all copper. They're all well below the shear line to give some very light. Come out of there. There are some minor differences. There's a very, I probably should have gone one at a time. A very, very short spring. And then you got this little light guy here. And then the rest of them look kind of like this. All copper. But this would explain the variation in the tensioning. That was much more difficult than what I would have thought given this pinning. This one really threw me. He was hiding up there behind the tension wrench, and he was a pin-in-pin. I thought I picked him, and in fact that tip was probably what I thought was a T-pin holding the whole game up. All the rest of these are fairly, I mean, they're very nicely done. Standard pins all in the bottom, and the rest of these are all handmade spool slash serrated, but they're all very sharp edges. Now in the Bible, let's take a quick look in there because we dumped out the springs. We know they're all, oh no, I take it back. I was going to say they're all threaded. Doesn't look that way. We got some psychological warfare. It shows all 6 threaded. But when I'm looking in there, I'm seeing 1 is threaded, 3 is threaded, and 4 is threaded. The rest of them are not. He merely tapped these to mess with my head. Artemis, you did that. Anyways, fellas, sorry for the long video, but sometimes these challenge locks need every second that I can give them to get open. And as usual, I forgot to show the key, so let's do that. Well, that was not too bad. There you go. It is a 1, 2, come on, focus for me. It looks like a 5-pin lock, so 6 was sitting right off the tip of that key right there. 5-pin lock, 6, a 5-pin key, 6-pin lock. Artemis, great job. I gotta say, this Bible really kind of freaked me out. I would have swore they were all going to be threaded.